6年多了，带着一个10岁的儿子，和我说呢，想找对象。
A 41-year-old woman has been divorced for 6 years and has been raising her 10-year-old son alone. She came to our matchmaking agency and said that recently she wanted to find a partner. Her appearance is quite good, she knows how to dress up, and looks younger than her actual age. She runs a beauty salon herself. Business hasn't been good in recent years, and she finally decided to close the shop, living a rather tight life. Raising her son costs at least 30,000 to 40,000 yuan a year. She hopes to find a man to marry at this time, so they can share the financial pressure. Out of curiosity, I asked her, "What kind of partner are you looking for?" She told me that she hopes the man is 2 years older than her or up to 5 years younger, with a stable job, earning no less than 10,000 yuan per month, and owns a house in the county, preferably in a school district. She prefers men who have never been married or are divorced without children. Most importantly, she said she doesn't plan to have more children because she feels she is too old for that. Hearing this, I couldn't help but ask her, "If you don't want to have children and don't want a man with children, what exactly is this man marrying you for? To help you raise your child?" She responded, saying, "I'm too old to have more children. I can barely manage to take care of my own child, let alone someone else's." She believes marriage should make her happy, not bring her suffering. If it's about suffering, she'd rather not marry at all. In her view, men choose her because she is a woman, and she is very beautiful. Besides, many men struggle to find a suitable partner. She also mentioned that her son will call the man Dad, so it's just like the man having his own child. After hearing all this, I felt like my values were about to be turned upside down. I then asked her, "Will you ask for a bride price when you get married?" She said a bride price is a must, and gold jewelry, gold necklaces, and gold earrings cannot be missed either. Faced with her thoughts, I patiently told her that if these are her standards for choosing a spouse, then she can only look for a retired man because retired men's children have already grown up and can live independently, which won't be a burden for her, and he can help take care of the family. Before I could finish, she interrupted me and argued, "Are you deliberately mocking me? She runs a beauty business and knows how to dress up. Even though she's in her 40s, she looks like a woman in her early 30s. How could someone as beautiful as her possibly marry an older, retired man? Moreover, she believes older men have health issues. She already has to take care of her child, so how could she manage to care for a retired man too? Life would be unbearable." At this point, I couldn't help but feel exasperated. Unable to hold back any longer, I frankly told her, "You don't want anything, yet you're not willing to give anything. You only want to take advantage of others. You want both love and material things but aren't willing to pay the price for them." With such thoughts, what you're really looking for is an ATM, not a partner. Even though you keep saying that you look young, compared to women in their early 30s, you really don't have the same advantage. They can have children, but what about you? Moreover, her marriage criteria and the bride price she demands seem completely justified in her mind. I couldn't help but want to throw a bucket of cold water on her. In this world, the worst thing is to take advantage of others. What you take today will surely come back to you one way or another in the future. Her biggest mistake is thinking others are fools and hoping to get lucky, assuming others won't see through her true intentions. I advised her to stay grounded and focus on raising her child well. Marriage requires effort in order to receive anything in return. However, before I could finish, she grabbed her bag and left, leaving behind the remark, "Your company is so unreliable." I thought to myself, please, I'm just a matchmaker. If you want to make a wish, go directly to a temple next time.
今天晚上抽个时间想跟大家聊一个
Hello everyone. Tonight I want to discuss a topic that many friends are concerned about, which is about my search for a partner. Recently, many friends have asked me whether I need someone to introduce me to a partner or if I'm considering dating, etc. In response, I want to say that finding a partner is something that can be encountered but not actively sought. It's not that no one pursues me, rather, I have my own standards and requirements. In the past, I have rejected some men who pursued me because they did not meet my standards. On the other hand, some men I like do not find my conditions appealing. I have previously been through a marriage, and my daughter is now 9 years old. Although I appear relatively young, I am 36 this year. If I were to find a partner, I would hope to find a slightly older man, ideally someone within 10 years older than me. As for whether he has been divorced or has children, I think that is not a problem at all. I believe I can treat his children as my own and give them the same love and care. There is no doubt in my mind that I can do this. I am also willing to live with his parents, and I am not worried about the relationship with them. My personality is quite forgiving and tolerant. I would rather suffer a loss myself than get into a dispute with others. Especially in family relationships, I hope to get along harmoniously. The man I hope to find must be able to accept my daughter. This is crucial. If he cannot accept her, then even if you are a wealthy man, I would not consider being with you. For me, while money is important, I believe that it is not everything. It is essential for a person to have responsibility and a sense of duty. Secondly, I hope that he has a relatively good economic condition because I do not want us to argue over trivial matters in life. Although my material demands are not high, I do not want financial issues to make life tense and oppressive. As everyone says, poor couples have many woes, which is an undeniable fact. Therefore, I hope his annual salary should be above 500,000 yuan. He should also at least own a house and have a regular car. Additionally, I hope to find a man who is open-minded in thought and perspective, someone who can provide me with advice on life and work. If the man I find knows nothing and I have to teach him everything, I feel like I would be raising a son, and I do not want to take on that role. I have a rather childlike personality and hope to find a man who is tolerant enough to let me be playful. I believe it is a beautiful thing to meet someone who both of us genuinely like. Today, I saw a saying online, the greatest loss is not missing out on an excellent person, but missing out on someone who treats you well. I hope to find someone who treats me well. I think that women do not necessarily need to find a very wealthy man, but at least he should be willing to spend money on me. This is the expectation I have as a single mother for my future partner. Do you think my requirements are high?
就问我对于将来的另一半有什么样的要求。
Hello everyone. Recently, someone asked me about my expectations and requirements for a future partner. Today, I want to discuss this topic with you. Some may question why, as a single mother with a child, I have the right to be selective about my partner. In fact, life as a single mother is not as simple as you might imagine. I would like to say that the situation for single mothers can be divided into two categories. One is when I have limited financial resources and cannot provide a better life for myself and my child, not even basic security. In this case, we may indeed need a man to share some of the financial burden. The other situation is if I am financially independent, able to support myself, and can take good care of my life and my child, then marriage is no longer a necessity in my life. In this case, I will be more cautious and won't rush to let another man into my life. When it comes to my standards, many people might think I should look for a wealthy person to enjoy a middle-class lifestyle. However, in reality, all my past boyfriends have been ordinary salaried workers. They are neither rich nor second-generation wealthy. During our time together, we understood each other and got along harmoniously, never having conflicts over financial or material issues. However, one crucial point is that my partner must have a sense of responsibility, a job that can support him, and he should be diligent and hardworking. While he doesn't need to be extremely wealthy, he must possess ambition and a positive attitude. I hope we can attract each other and enjoy our time together. I also value physical attraction. If the first impression is good, we can continue to get to know each other. Our interests and hobbies do not have to be identical, but our understanding and views on certain matters should be aligned to avoid disputes over trivial issues. Lastly, I want to emphasize that my daughter is an indispensable part of my life and the most important presence to me. I believe that if my partner truly loves me, he should be able to accept my past and treat my daughter kindly. As a single mother, my expectation for a relationship is that it should bring positive experiences, not burdens.
聊一下，我都不知道从什么时候开始。
To put it simply, I honestly can't remember when it started, but everyone began worrying about me and sending me all kinds of matchmaking information. First, let me introduce myself. I am from the countryside, 31 years old this year, and a single mother. I've been a mother for 10 years now. To be honest, I haven't really dealt with relationship matters over these past 10 years. Now, I hope to find a man younger than my parents. He can be divorced and have children, but I don't want someone with 3 or 4 children. Also, I hope this man has black hair, not white, and has normal-looking teeth. I just want to meet a normal man, understand? I don't want a man who is in his 50s or 60s, whose children are older than me. I think I'm a very normal woman, and I hope I can take this step to get to know the outside world, to get to know you. If you're sincere, you're welcome to come to my home and see how things are. But at the same time, I hope you are also a normal man. Really, can you at least be a little normal? Is that too much to ask?
像我们这个年纪有这种经历，找个什么样的对象才是合适的？
At our age, after going through so many things, it's really hard to know what kind of partner would be suitable. If we look for a never-married man, he might not be interested in someone like us, who has been through a marriage. In the beginning, maybe everything can go smoothly without major conflicts, and the relationship could seem harmonious. But once a quarrel happens, he might start feeling unbalanced in his heart, and even his family might think it's unfair. They will wonder, as a never-married man, why should he marry a divorced woman with a child? Don't tell me this kind of thing won't happen, because it really does. I've already seen too many similar examples around me, and I've experienced this kind of situation myself. When there's no argument, things are fine, but once a fight breaks out, these old issues will be brought up to blame you, eventually turning into a mental attack against you, sometimes even becoming PUV. As for finding a divorced man, we women tend to think that a divorced man may have had issues in his marriage, and we even suspect he might have a history of cheating. I feel like nowadays divorced men are not really good people either. Many men may disagree with this statement, but if you disagree, please quietly leave and don't say anything bad here. This is just my personal opinion. As a woman who has been through all this, I am only expressing my inner thoughts. So for us single mothers, finding a partner is really difficult. We really don't know whether it's better to find someone who's never been married or someone who's divorced. Every option seems wrong, and none of them seem suitable. Sometimes I even feel that no matter who I choose, it's unlikely to have a good outcome. Deep down, I'm already very afraid of relationships, but at the same time, I still yearn for one. After all, I'm almost 40 years old. If I wait until after 40 to find a boyfriend, then I will only be looking for a companion in my old age, and that's really unrealistic. Relationships are truly too hard, and marriage is even harder. Honestly, I don't have a strong desire for marriage, but it's still something I have to consider. Because it's unrealistic to live alone for the rest of my life, and the child will leave you one day too. But reality is really tough. Right now, I feel that most divorced men are also unreliable, and some even make people feel terrible. Women who enter marriage, especially those who have children, usually endure as much as they can. If they can keep going, they will. If it has come to the point of divorce, that must mean the woman was driven to the edge, with no way to continue, and probably in unbearable pain. So, finding a divorced man doesn't work, and finding a never-married one doesn't work either. I can only go with the flow, it's really too painful. After all, no path seems easy.
40岁找对象真的好难呀。
At my age, 40 years old, divorced and raising a child, finding a suitable partner is truly difficult. Many people say to me, "You are so beautiful, you have a car and a house, finding a partner shouldn't be a problem, right? You're so outstanding, how could you not find one? Surely, if you just pick randomly, there would be plenty of men willing to be with you." But reality is not as simple as they imagine. Finding a partner isn't like having 4 men as candidates and just picking one at random. First of all, there must be physical attraction, which is the foundation of everything. Secondly, both sides need to have common topics to talk about and be able to get along. And furthermore, the financial situation must be acceptable, right? If there is too large a financial gap between the two, then what's the point of being together? After all, the way of thinking in conversations, communication, and daily life may not be on the same level, right? Just like you men, whether a man is handsome or not, whether he is rich or not, they all want to find a woman they like, right? To be honest, I don't have very high requirements for financial conditions. It's not like I must find a very wealthy man. But at our age, 40 years old, shouldn't we already have a house, a car, and savings? You're not like when you were 20 years old, just graduated, with possibly nothing in your hands, relying on your parents for everything. But now, after 20 years of hard work, if you still don't have a house or a car, it's really hard to understand. My house wasn't given by my parents, nor was it part of the property divided during my divorce. This house was bought by me before I got married, when I was 30 years old. Honestly, I don't have any special abilities, and I don't make a lot of money. Back then, I saved up little by little from my job. More importantly, my parents didn't help me with a single cent, and when I signed the purchase contract, they didn't even know I was buying a house. So I believe no matter how much someone earns, if you earn more, spend more. If you earn less, spend less. The key is that income and expenses must be proportional, and the most important thing is to have a sense of saving. If a man has worked hard for 20 years and still doesn't have a house or a car, I really find it hard to understand.
Is it really difficult for a divorced woman with children to find a partner? If you ask me to tell the truth, the answer is undoubtedly, it's hard. The attractiveness of a divorced woman with children in the marriage market is almost zero, especially for those with boys. If she is over 40, the situation becomes even more severe. At this point, even if someone is willing to introduce a partner to you, they often find it troublesome. The person making the introduction may feel awkward, as if no one wants to bear such a responsibility. In fact, men with similar circumstances would prefer to choose a woman without children, even if she is slightly less attractive, rather than a divorced woman with children. As a woman with children, no matter how strong you are or how hard you try to balance your life with your child's growth, your market value in marriage remains very low. I have asked some female friends about this issue, and the vast majority have responded similarly. If it were me, I would never choose divorce if I could continue living with my husband. If one day I really had a problem with my husband and had to get divorced, I would definitely choose to take my child with me, especially my son. Although I know that remarrying with a child is almost impossible, as a mother, I must take on this responsibility. I need to take care of my child and also ensure that I can live well. I am fully aware of the extreme difficulty of remarrying with a son. However, since the marriage has already failed, I would focus on raising my son well instead of making remarriage the focus of my life. Rather than entering another failed marriage, it's better to take care of my child first. If the first marriage couldn't succeed, how likely is it that a second marriage will be happy? From the statistics of divorced women, I know the success rate of second marriages is less than 5%. Of course, I don't know how others have fared, but if you observe your friends or classmates, especially their parents or elders who have divorced and remarried, you will find that men usually have an easier time finding a new partner after divorce, while women struggle. Men who divorce often quickly find a new partner and re-enter marriage. But for a divorced woman, especially one with children, the chances of remarrying are nearly non-existent. Therefore, many single mothers bear the dual responsibility of caring for their children and maintaining their own lives. The path to finding happiness again is truly arduous. They put in efforts that are hard to imagine. But please believe that no matter how difficult it is, those of you who bravely persevere will eventually find your own light and happiness. What do you think about single mothers remarrying? Feel free to leave your comments. I would love to hear your thoughts. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Your support is very important to us, and we will continue to provide you with better programs. Thank you again for watching, and see you next time.